Yeah. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say as clearly and concisely as possible. So there's absolutely no mistaking or misconstruing what I'm getting ready to say. If you're a veteran that voted for Donald Trump and you're surprised about this, I want you to raise your hand. Now I want you to take that hand and use it to smack the shit out of yourself because you're a fucking dumbass. And I literally hope that the VA is your only source of health care because you're fucking dismissed. We don't need you anymore. The entire point of being in the military is that you may potentially have to lay down your life to protect people you don't even know. You fuckers did the opposite. You took people that you don't know, that you knew were gonna get fucked over when you voted for him, and you threw them under the bus to save your own ass. We don't need you in society anymore. Like I said, you fuckers are dismissed. You can go now.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you're fine wherever you are today. Now, people have been complaining about the attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act that has to do with the Trump's policies, like the Trump's new policies that are there. And even in the past, during the reign of Trump, this is something that really happened, and people are coming out like, what did we do to ourselves? Because we chose you. We thought that this is going to be easier for all Americans, but now this is something like people are not getting to, agree with what he's trying to say. Now, people are blaming the, former president and the president to be Mr. Donald Trump for healthcare funding issues for several reasons, and this is tied to his administration. I mean, the policies and their long-term to the U.S. healthcare system. Now, there have been attempts to repeal the Affordable Care Act. You can remember during the presidency of Trump, in which the same policies that are yet to come, Trump made repeated attempts to repeal or weaken the ACA. That's the Affordable Care Act, which expanded healthcare access for millions of Americans. Although the ACA was not fully repealed, his administration reduced funding for programs like healthcare subsidies and outreach campaigns to enroll uninsured Americans. Critics argue that these contributed to the rising health costs and uninsured rates, leading to strain on federal and state healthcare systems. I wanted to hear what people have to say about this, because these policies are coming back, and 120 million has been cut off from the affordable healthcare system from the United States, and this is what people have to say. And sorry about this. Thank you. And this is something that I think one of the considerations that a lot of people were trying to look at before just voting, right? And this is something which is right now happening to people. I wanted to buckle up for this video. I'll be back with my commentary, as you know, as you always do, as usual. These are presented Generic Stories, and let's meet on my next video.
Are you motherfuckers ready to have that oath breaker conversation now? All you veterans for Trump, are you ready to have it now? Are you ready to fucking say you're a dumbass? Every one of you vets that got in Jolly Good Ginger's face about this, got in my face about this, and every other vet that told you this was gonna fucking happen. Are you ready to eat the crow now, or do you want us to cook that bitch? This is why we called you motherfuckers oath breakers. This is why. This is why we said you betrayed your fucking oath. Because you gave in to a man who had never fucking served this goddamn country. And you tried to make it to where those of us who didn't support him were wrong. Well, now he's bringing somebody else in who also hasn't served, who plans on cutting $120 billion fucking dollars from veterans health care. Congratulations, gentlemen and ladies. You fucked us all. You fucked every one of us. You fucked every single one of us. Ready to have that goddamn conversation now? I can't hear you. I can't. Where y'all at? Where you at? Y'all had so much more. Jolly couldn't. I can't believe he said that. An unqualified motherfucker is about to cut $120 billion from veterans' health care. But you give so much of a fuck about other veterans, right? Yep. Y'all had so much smoke. So much smoke. Where are you now? Do not be shy. Do not be quiet, bitches. Bring your asses to the front. And I get it. You're going to go fake news. You're going to go this. You're going to go that. You're going to make up every motherfucking excuse until it actually happens. And then what? What is going to be your excuse then? And mind you, you did all of that for a motherfucker that never served, who put another motherfucker who never served in charge of people who have served their healthcare benefits. You know, the shit that we actually fucking earned by putting on the goddamn uniform all that fucking time, marching, ruck marching, spending time away from our motherfucking families, all those goddamn CQ duties and things of that nature. Remember that? And y'all got all in your motherfucking feelings about Jolly Good Ginger calling you oath breakers. You did. And this is the result. This is the result. You turned a chicken hawk coward into a tough guy. And then you elected him not once, but fucking twice. The first time this motherfucker caused an insurrection against the government. The government that belongs to the people that we swore to protect and defend. Defend and protect their rights. Well, part of that agreement was this. You go and you protect and defend the rights and the Constitution and the people of America. And we, to the best of our fucking ability, and it hasn't always been easy, will do our damnedest to take care of you. And then you put a fucking coward-ass draft-dodging piece of shit back into the White House. And now he's bringing unqualified other motherfuckers who have never served. And they're going to cut the benefits of the people that did the jobs that neither one of these two motherfuckers could do. And some of you who you wore the uniform supported that. But you had a problem with being called an oath breaker. You betrayed every active duty military personnel. You betrayed the veterans. The people who stood side by side with you, that wore the uniform, that ate the dirt that you did, that embraced the suck. Well, I guess you motherfuckers said, embrace the suck political version. And y'all had the nerve to get in your motherfucking feelings about what Jolly Good Ginger said, to the point where y'all were putting that man's information out. Congratulations. You fucked us all, you raggedy bastards.
Okay, so if you're one of the people who voted for Donald Trump and now is having some regrets because you're starting to learn things that you, for whatever reason, didn't learn in advance, like that Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act and that they're looking to gut it, or you're a veteran and, now there's this proposal to, cut benefits there, I highly recommend, before we actually lose our democracy, and no, that is not hyperbole, but please call your representatives, actually fight this before it is too late, right? Because none of this is written in stone, but if you just passively accept it, it will move forward, okay? So I'm not saying I told you so, because whatever, we learn at our own pace, but fight it now before it is actually too late, please.
And not only that, but his plan, it would seem, for cuts in Social Security is if your number is even, you're in. If the last number in your Social Security number is even, you're in. If your last number in Social Security is odd, you're out. There, 50% cut. And now, to make it cut even further, those that are in, if the first number of your Social Security number is odd, you're in. If the first number of your Social Security number is even, you're out. There, 75% cut. Keep that in mind. This is what y'all asked for. You want to talk unqualified? Stupid? Yeah.
A lot of us were wondering what was going to happen with Matt Gaetz because he took the job for the AG and resigned from Congress, but then he dropped out of the nomination for AG because of the potential report from the Ethics Committee. So everyone was wondering, well, he resigned from this Congress, but he won his re-election, so is he coming back into Congress in January? And it's just been announced that Matt Gaetz says he will not return to Congress next year, which means that report was fucking juicy. And don't get me wrong, it will be leaked one way or the other. We will know eventually exactly what was in that ethics report. But because of all the damning shit about Matt Gaetz was obviously at least mostly true, if not worse than we thought, Matt Gaetz not only pulled his nomination for Attorney General, but he completely backed out of Congress forever. Which means, hey, look on the bright side, at least we're rid of Butthead. And everybody already knows what a disgusting pig he is. So thankfully, if nothing else, we are completely rid of Matt Gaetz. See you at your trial, asshole. Now, a lot of us were wondering...
Sometimes, even during a terrible storm, the sun breaks through the clouds and reminds us of what could be. And today's little ray of sunshine is brought to you by Matt Gaetz withdrawing from consideration of being Donald Trump's Attorney General. Of course, he tried to make it sound like he was being all selfless, like, I don't want to distract from all the good that Trump and Vance are doing. But really, I think he's just hoping that all of this terrible information about what he did won't actually come out. That's why he withdrew from Congress, and he thought that this was going to be a workaround, and it didn't work out because stuff is being leaked. And so I think he's just trying to run away from that, and he'll probably go cry into a big pile of his daddy's money. But whatever the reason, this is one bullet dodged, and we'll take it. Just don't forget those who tried to fight to keep him. Don't forget the Marjorie Taylor Greens who threatened other Republicans, I'll release your sexual indiscretions if you don't vote him through. But for now, ding dong, the witch is dead. And on to the next.
Is Matt Gaetz's decision to withdraw his nomination for Attorney General an indication that some Republican senators are unwilling for the American government to become a freaking joke led by an unending parade of unethical, immoral, unqualified individuals? What do you think?
Certified House of Representatives, certified pedophile. Good news, the guy with the face like a Spider-Man villain is out of that role. His reason was he was becoming a distraction from Orange Daddy and VD Vance. Didn't you just quit your job for this one? I have a list of all 36 of his cabinet picks, and to be honest with you, I'm making videos about each one. But just like Orange Daddy, the big scary thing is not so much the one that's there, but the one that gets picked next. I wonder what could have been such a distraction from them. What was it? You know, I usually am able to remember things like 17 out of 18 times. Alexa, play Teenage Love. But my question is, what does Matthew No Boundaries Gaetz here do next? What's his next job? What do you do now? Kind of reminds me of the Date Right Stuff guy who was originally in Trump's squadron but got moved out because he had some problems. Like, how do you get kicked out of that group? How much of a villain do you have to be for that group to be like, distance yourself from us? You're ruining our reputation. Now I'm positive his time is not up, and I'm sure he'll have some fallback option. Maybe he'll start some kind of program for girls who haven't graduated high school yet.
Huge news. Matt Gaetz has just withdrawn his nomination as Attorney General, handing Donald Trump his first defeat since becoming president-elect. Now, this comes directly from Matt Gaetz himself, who just posted this on his Twitter page. I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the momentum was strong, it's clear my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition. What I think really happened is he sat down with senators and they asked him point blank, what are we going to see in this report? What did you do? Is this going to prevent you? And it was clear after that meeting, he had no chance at all. And this just goes to show you exactly who Donald Trump is picking. He is putting no thought into this. He is not caring about qualifications. He only cares on whether or not they will be loyal to him. And this comes on the heels of Pete Hegseth's police report coming out. This is great news for America, though. Make no mistake about it. That Matt Gaetz is out, and I still want to see that report.
So Donald Trump chose Pam Bondi to be his next attorney general. Does anybody feel like that was the plan all along? You know, I was really struggling with Matt Gaetz. It didn't make sense to me. The pick didn't make sense. He was so controversial and the allegations were so bad and not easily proven to be false. Like, they're not something that you could just prove. It's more of a he said, she said. It's a very sensitive topic. It's like, why in the world would he choose this guy? Like, there's so many qualified people. And so then I saw, you know, Matt Gaetz go in with the meeting with all the senators and came out, you know, smiling and happy. And then the next day he's saying after his meeting with the senators and really effectively finding out who is for him and who is against him, he decided to step down. We all know with Trump this term he is not planning it like his last one. He knows he's got 4 years. He wants to get as much done as he possibly can. And he needs to know who the roadblocks are going to be. I think this was all planned and plotted. I think Pam Bondi was the choice all along. He knew that Matt Gaetz wasn't going to get confirmed. I think he just needed to see and wanted to know who was for him and who was against him. And now we have the first woman attorney general and the first woman chief of staff. So all these people who keep saying that this man hates women, math ain't mathing, you guys.
Good morning. As we all know about yesterday, Matt Gaetz decided he no longer wanted to be the center of attention, took his toys and went home, pulling his nomination for Attorney General. By the end of the day, Florida man Donald Trump picked Florida woman, former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, to be the next Attorney General of the United States. Now, if I had to pick between Pam and Matt, I'd pick Pam because historically here in the state of Florida, she has worked across the aisle in the past. One of the projects she spearheaded here in Florida when she was Attorney General, she worked across the aisle with a Democratic representative and prosecutor to go after pill mills here in the state of Florida. But of course, the nomination can't be without some bullshit, right? Pam Bondi received a $25,000 donation when she was running for Attorney General of the state of Florida. That $25,000 donation came from a Trump charity, which is no longer in operation because Letitia James in the state of New York put an end to the Trump charity because they were doing illegal things like making donations to campaigns. Of course, nothing ever came of it. But what did happen when Pam Bondi was the Attorney General of the state of Florida is she declined to go after Trump University, like so many other attorneys generals did, because it was an elaborate fraud. But she's been a longtime Donald Trump supporter. In fact, she even spoke at the Republican National Convention in 2016. This is more of Susie Wiles from Florida packing the national government with people who she groomed and produced here in Florida.
Breaking news as Matt Gaetz is now officially withdrawing his consideration to be the AG for President Trump. This came from social media posts in which Matt Gaetz said, "I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the momentum was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition." He continued by saying, "I remain fully committed to see that Donald J. Trump is the most successful president in history. I will forever be honored that President Trump nominated me to lead the Department of Justice, and I'm certain he will save America." Then Donald Trump took to Truth Social to make this announcement by saying that he greatly appreciated the recent efforts of Matt Gaetz in seeking approval to be my Attorney General. He was doing very well, but at the same time did not want to be a distraction for the administration, for which he has much respect. Adding that Matt Gaetz will do great things. Yeah. So now what happens to that ethics report? From the looks of it, it looks like it's not going to be released. They probably had a deal like, look, we're not going to release this if you pull your nomination. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and be sure to follow me.
Just a question before we even get into the video. Do you think that this is the right decision? Or do you think that the decision that he's making will change the health sector of the United States? How is it convenient that this is going to be serving majority of people, especially middle class Americans, right? Now, there are a couple of things that I'm going to be talking that are associated with this cut That is yet to happen. Now, Trump's administration supported policies that rolled back Medicaid expansion under the ACA. These cuts disproportionately affected low-income families, rural communities, and individuals with pre-existing conditions, creating systemic challenges that persist today. And that was during his reign when he was the president, and again is yet to happen because it is yet to become the American's president. So this is something that people are trying to discuss, people are trying to talk about, and people are saying that we tried to warn you before all these happen, and right now it has happened, right? And it's now regrets and blame games. That's what's happening right now. We have the MAGA, we have the FAFO, like things are just going crazy, right? But my point of discussion is to discuss the implications. My discussion in this video is the implications of these policies that Mr. Donald Trump is here to bring to, the United States. Now I'm going to be talking about budget prioritization and tax cuts. Critics point to the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act championed by Trump, which reduced federal revenue. These moves, coupled with increased military spending, put pressure on domestic programs like healthcare. Some argue that these policies laid the groundwork for the current need to cut federal healthcare funding to address budget deficits. I'm also going to be addressing the destabilization of insurance markets. Trump's elimination of the ACA's individual mandate penalty, which required people to have health insurance, reduced the pool of healthy participants in insurance market. This action raised premiums and increased uncompensated care costs for health providers, worsening financial pressures on the system. I'm going to be talking about political fallout. Trump's polarizing rhetoric and policies made him a focal point for blame when discussing ongoing issues tied to his presidency. While current decisions are made by the Biden's administration and Congress, many see these as attempts to address problems stemming from the Trump era. Do you think these are the problems that are stemming from the Trump era? And what can you say about this? I'm going to be talking about people's opinion also in regards to this. What really people said about this. Somebody said that he called us suckers and losers and insulted Paus. We knew exactly who he was and how our own stabbed US in the back. My brother who fought in the war feels the same way. He said it was a slap in the face for him, putting his life on the line for this country. I feel the same way he does. People feel betrayed because right now a lot of things are getting to dawn on the face of people, like the things are unraveling in themselves, and people are asking, what have we done to ourselves? This is what we voted for, and this is a slap on our face. We thought that everything is going to be changing after making this decision, but turns out that things are not going well as it was supposed to. I'm going to be reading some comments again. Somebody saying that there is no excuse. They knew that he was a convicted criminal of 34 felonies and more were to be prosecuted. He was convicted of sexual assault, yet many ignored that he was told when he told you what he was going to do. Somebody saying that a 70-year white woman, an army veteran, and I've always been against Trump. I've never voted for him because I know what a POS he is. After January 6th, I stopped thanking veterans because all the veterans that attacked our capital. Somebody saying that sorry for America, sending love from Australia. Somebody's also saying that veterans who voted for Donald Trump. I'm 70-year-old and I was always proud of America's military. You have not only let down your country, you have also let it down your senior citizens. America has the greatest military in the world, and therefore you can do any type of research you need to do. So why would you vote for a man like Donald Trump? Donald Trump is not a strong man. He is a leech. He feeds of people's energy. American military who voted for Donald Trump is very disappointed. I think they disappointed. Somebody saying that do they not remember him saying, quote, "I don't need you, I just want your vote." Look back at his speeches. Bruh. It's crazy in the comment section. Somebody saying, Cold War veteran and the son of World War II infantry vet who was named after my dad's brother who died in a B-24 in 43, drafted Dodger Trump KMA. Some of us know the disrespect he feels for vets and the love he has for Putin. Somebody saying that been applying for 10 years and still can't get disability for my time served over 9 years, and I've been diagnosed with PTSD and can't receive it because of draft Dodger. It's sad, and people are letting it out. People are trying to talk about this and the implications of these policies that are going to be having, right? The phase veterans that Mr. Donald Trump is trying to support, and everyone is not trying to agree with him for what he's trying to do. The result of ignorance and bad education. Some people did not pay attention at all. My cousin is a vet and voted for Trump as a black man. Somebody is also saying that female U.S. attorneys general Jen Reno and Loretta Lynch. Somebody saying that veterans for Trump, the author of the Project 2025, was appointed to the Trump administration. Trump played you all. Somebody said that the amount of furious public pressure raised over Matt Gaetz should motivate us to fight the ACA and veterans proposal. We can and must fight. When we fight, we win. Call our reps and raise the roof. We have not have a dictator. We do not agree. This is the second last comment that I'm going to be reading. What the lady near the beginning of this said, please contact your congressman and senator to let them know your feelings on this subject. Actually, subjects. Go and vote for your reps in 2026. We need to be looking to overturn the House, Senate, and White House by 2028 so we can fix all the damage Republicans are going to do in this country for the next 4 years. And lastly, what I'm going to be reading right now is, as a 64-year-old disabled veteran, any cuts to my pension or healthcare would force me and millions of other vets to march on DC, much like the bonus army did to Hoover. Tell me what to think about this video. Again, this is a presenter Jindook Stories. Let's meet you on my next video. Until then, peace out.